Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. And I want to welcome everyone to this year's Living with Kidney Disease and Transplantation event. I hope that you've enjoyed your breakfast so far, and please feel free to continue eating while we begin our program. So my name is Jackie Burgess Bishop, and I have the great privilege of being the CEO for the National Kidney Foundation of Illinois. And just definitely want to welcome you all here. As we like to say, you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here with us today. And we know that we wanted to be fruitful, educational, and have you leave empowered, as reflected in our mission and the mission of the National Kidney Foundation of Illinois. So today's event is one of our signature educational programs held annually in Metro Chicago and Champaign, Illinois, in English and Spanish. As many of you know, the benefits of transplantation abound. As we have done in past years, I would like to take a moment to ask all patients who have received a transplant to stand up. All right. All right, so we're gonna make this a little interactive from that standpoint. Okay, if you've had your transplant for 2 years or longer, please stay standing. And everyone, all right. All right. What about 5 years or longer? All right. Okay, all right, we're getting down to the few. 10 years or longer? Okay, 15 years or longer. All right. All right, so this gets to be the interactive part. So for those that are still standing, if you don't mind, I'm gonna ask how long? 16 years for those that couldn't hear in the back. Awesome, fantastic. Yeah. Wow, oh my goodness, wow, how wonderful, amazing, amazing, inspiring to us all. Thank you so much. Sir? He said 17? Awesome. For those considering the journey of transplantation, you may want to seek out these individuals at some point during the day and ask about their journey, the benefits, and the struggles. That's one of the reasons we're here and one of the key values to this program. For your convenience and those who were unable to attend, we will be recording the event and uploading videos on our website so you can go back and watch them all and also hear the speakers. We will also be posting all PowerPoint presentations online within the next week or two. Now, at this point, I'd like to take a minute to recognize our sponsors that are here with us today. These sponsors have been supporting the program since day one, and their generous support truly is invaluable. Please make sure that you stop by their tables at some point today. They have essential resources and information to share with you. So I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna ask if the sponsors to stand as I call out your organization so people can make that connection if they are in the room. So our sponsors include Advocate Healthcare, Baxter, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. They all still may be outside, so I'm going to keep going. CareDx, Bethanys Kidney Care, Gift of Hope, Loyola University Transplant, Meridian Health, Northwestern University Transplant. All right, there you are. Otsuka Pharmaceutical, Q-Source ESRD Network 10, all right. Rush University Transplant, TGB Medela, Cairo One Wellness. Okay, I know they're here, I saw them out there. UIC, UI Health Transplant. All right. And University of Chicago Medicine. So please, let's give all our sponsors again a round of applause. And we can't forget about our respected committee members. Your dedication to the cause is the reason we are able to put on this event each year. Ning Ramos, if you're here, please raise your hand. Doug Penrod, Dr. Divya Jain, Judith Pataski Anderson, Dr. Melissa Press, and Dave Dreyfus. Thank you very much. Your contributions are invaluable in planning the program. So I just have a few logistical points before we begin. Very important. You can find the restrooms across the hallway where the vendors are situated. Lunch will be set up at noon in front of the check-in tables out in the hall. At the end of the program, please, please, please fill out your surveys, and you're going to receive a NKFI freebie. Very simple. The surveys are so important because it's how we get, one of the ways that we get feedback from you and can enhance the viability of the program and the program content. We're going to be raffling 2 gift baskets at $1 per raffle ticket, or $10 or 15 tickets. Please consider purchasing tickets from our wonderful volunteers situated next to the registration table in the hallway. The baskets include a lunch bag, neck pillow, coffee mug, a Jewel gift card, and an Amazon gift card. So now that those logistical details have been taken care of, it's my pleasure to welcome Monica Fox to the stage so she can welcome our patient panel. Monica is our dynamic and phenomenal outreach manager, and she is a transplant recipient herself. She has a great deal of knowledge, and she will be our MC for the day. So join me in welcoming Monica. Thank you all.
Good morning. I am so honored and privileged to be here with you, and so excited for the transplant recipients who have gone through this journey and showing us the way to live a healthy transplant life for 15, 16, 17, and 26 years. Let's just give that another round of applause. So I am a transplant recipient. In November will be 3 years for me. I am honored to be on this journey. I call myself a DaVita graduate. I endured 3 years of dialysis. So for those of you who are living on dialysis right now, there is definitely life beyond dialysis. And I encourage you to keep living it and live it as healthy as you can. Don't let dialysis have you. Don't let it define you. You define your own life and keep living. And for those of you who haven't gone that journey of dialysis, avoid it at all costs. Do everything you can do to prevent the progression of kidney disease. And that's one of the main reasons, amongst many others, that we do what we do here at NKFI. We want to educate everyone that although chronic kidney disease is the 9th leading cause of death in this country, it is preventable, and that is key. So I encourage you to keep on living and keep on living a healthy life. So it is my honor today to be joined on this panel by some amazing advocates, some amazing people. First, I'd like to introduce to you my friend, Jerry Taylor. Jerry is a kidney recipient who received his transplant at UIC Health. So we are We are kindred spirits from UIC Health, and he is going to share his story with us today, and we're just so happy that he joined us. I also want to introduce to you Justina Jackson. Justina is going to come and share her story with us this morning. Justina is a kidney recipient and also on dialysis, so she's going to share her story with us. I'd like to also invite Bethany and Hannah Hester Goralski. You may have seen these fabulous ladies, although they've been all over social media. They are living donors, and we are so happy that they are here with us today to share their story with us firsthand. Yes. We have got a stage that is not very graceful to step up on. So, but we, okay, yeah, because we managed to get up here. Next and last but definitely not least is my friend Quinn Taylor. She too is a kidney transplant recipient who also happens to have had her transplant at UIC, but she currently is working at the Renal Network, and she's here to share her story with us as well. So thank you so much. Let's give our panel a lovely, huge round of applause. All right, so what we're going to do is everybody's gonna share their story with us. We're gonna have just a few minutes of sharing your story, and then at the end, we'll probably have some time for questions and answers. So why don't we start with Quinn?
Thank you. It's always so humbling when I have the opportunity to share my story with other patients, because I always hope that the journey that I've been through can encourage them to keep going through their journey and getting to where they're supposed to be. My story starts, I was 19 years old. I was away at school, Iowa State University, and my body started going through some changes. I was extremely fatigued. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. So I was at Iowa State University living my best life, and my body started going through changes. I was extremely fatigued. I had scabs literally all over my legs because my legs were swollen so bad that my skin was tearing. I had frequent urination, just a bunch of things I didn't understand. I ended up coming home to find out that I had chronic kidney disease. Dialysis and kidney disease wasn't foreign to me. My dad had been diagnosed with end-stage renal failure before I was born. So it was always a part of my life. So I found out that I had FSGS, focal segmental glomerulonephritis, which is a nephrotic syndrome. It was hereditary. I was able to sustain my kidney function until I was 27. That's when my kidneys failed. And when they failed very quickly, and I began dialysis. So my barrier to getting a transplant was weight loss. I had to lose weight. So with the wonderful, wonderful staff at a wonderful health club who knew why I was losing weight, they gave me a trainer, they gave me a free membership, and I lost 130 pounds just by eating right and exercising. I soon got listed. After a few years, I ended up getting a transplant. But while I was on dialysis, I advocated. I worked with NKF, I worked with the Gift of Hope, I worked with the Renal Network, or ESRD Network 10, where I work now. I was determined that I was going to have dialysis, it wasn't going to have me. And I was able to do more traveling and just more stuff on dialysis than I did when I wasn't on dialysis because of my mindset. I had to keep pushing. There was a journey to be had, and I had to follow that journey to get to where I wanted to go. I got transplanted on November 5th, 2015. I'm doing great. Unfortunately, my dad passed 6 weeks after I got transplanted. And so my transplant means something different. It saved my life at a time where I didn't know what to do. It saved my life. And so now I continue to work in memory of my dad, and so that the person who gave their life so that I could have a second chance at life, that their life isn't in vain. So that's why I come to speak to patients and encourage them. You have a journey. Everyone has a story. And it's, I encourage you to follow your story through. And, one day you'll be up here to encourage other people as well. And that's my story.
Thank you so much, Quinn, for sharing your story. Certainly our transparency and our ability to share our stories helps so many others, and I just thank you. I thank you for sharing. So next, we're going to have Bethany and Hannah share their stories.
Okay, Bethany's going to start. Hi, we're Bethany and Hannah, and we're sisters. We also were both living kidney donors earlier this year, but our story really started a long time ago. Our dad had Crohn's disease since he was 19, and then when he was about 10 years ago, he was diagnosed with IgA nephropathy, which was a autoimmune kidney disease where he was getting a lot of kidney stones. And those kidney stones turned into kidney failure, and we were told he would need a kidney transplant. So in 2011, our older brother, Josh, who was 19 at the time, donated his kidney to our dad at Northwestern, and it was really a miracle how well it worked. It inspired me to go to nursing school, and I now work as a nurse at Northwestern. And, that kidney gave him many more years of life, but unfortunately, that kidney eventually failed, and we were told he would need a second transplant. And at that time, I was approved to be his donor, but he was too sick for surgery. They were telling him, he needed to gain weight, he needed to get his hemoglobin up. And unfortunately, he passed away last year before he was able to get a transplant. And I'm going to let Hannah say what we did next.
So obviously, we'd been on the receiving end. We'd known what time could do. We had an extra almost 8 beautiful years of additional life with our dad due to my brother's generous donation. And at that point, Bethany and I had both gone through testing to be a living donor to our father. And it was kind of like, what do you do at that point? You know what a transplant can do for an individual, and you know what it can do for a family. And it kind of dawned on us, are we just going to sit on this, on our perfectly healthy kidneys that we were saving in case our dad needed them, and now we can't give them to him? Or were we going to donate and help someone else? Like I said, we've known what it's like to receive, and we also knew the pain of waiting and not getting a kidney and running out of time. So our father passed away in September of last year, and Bethany and I kind of checked in with Northwestern to see, what tests would we need to redo? Are we still good to donate? And our one request was that we do it together, as we are sisters and best friends, and we kind of do everything together. So that was our one request, and in March, just a day apart, I donated on March 14th, World Kidney Day, anonymously, and Bethany donated on the 15th. And we had no idea who was getting our kidneys. We didn't know if it was starting a chain or what was to come from it. We were fortunate enough to both recover very quickly. I went back to work a week later. Bethany went back to yoga 2 weeks later. And just a very, very healthy process for both of us and speedy recovery. And we're so grateful for that. All the while just praying and hoping that our recipients were doing well. One night in the hospital, but we did wander the halls kind of wondering, did our kidneys stay at Northwestern? Who got them? We were fortunate enough in July that Northwestern set up a meetup where we both got to meet our recipients and see the chains that had started due to our living kidney donations. And when we met everyone in July, we'd each started a separate chain, and there had been 5 people who had received kidneys due to our initial donation. And what was so beautiful about this was everyone that was part of our chain had someone that wanted to donate to them, someone that stepped up and just wasn't a perfect match. And here we were making matches, and the chains are still going. So that's the most beautiful part about it. Everyone kind of put in the work on their end to find a donor. It just wasn't a perfect match. And we're excited to see, how many other people get kidneys from this chain that has started. And we're so very blessed to have been able to impact so many lives.
Okay, we have to do better than that. That deserves a standing ovation. Honestly. Thank you. Thank you. I almost can't speak. Thank you. So many lives saved. So important. And so many people can do that. Thank you. All right, pull myself together here. We're gonna move on along to Jerry Taylor.
Good morning, everyone. Before I get started, I just want to thank Hannah and Kim again, because it takes a lot of courage to do what they did. That's the whole point of this event today, is to bring awareness. It hits so many communities, especially our African American and Latino communities. So it takes a big, big ask for what they did, and I just want to give them a round of applause again for stepping up and doing that. My name is Jerry Taylor. I am 34 years old. I was diagnosed, just like Quinn said, with FSGS. I was away at college at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. Mine was a little different. I started to leak fluid out of my stomach and didn't understand what that was. The water pill, Lasix, wasn't helping. I wasn't producing much urine, but I felt just being a man and doing what men do, not going to the doctor. So I continued to just act like nothing was wrong. Doctors tried to do everything down there. I lost my medicine through my mother because of my age at the time. So I stopped taking medicines and everything, and I started to feel better. But what wound up happening was things got worse. So when I graduated and came home, one minute I just fainted and woke up in the hospital, and they said that I needed emergency dialysis. So I was on dialysis for 8 years, and I recently got a kidney transplant February 1st of 2017. Thank you. So just during the whole time, I want to speak more on the dialysis portion. I worked through those whole 8 years while going to dialysis 3 times a day for 4 hours a day. You can do it. Be encouraged. I'm here to encourage everyone. Don't give up the fight. I know it's hard, but I serve a God who has us all things. Okay? Just believe in yourself. I am here, and that's why these events are important, to come out and just raise awareness to everything. I am now helping out with Monica. She beats down my door to come out and help, and I will do it with no problem, just to bring awareness and just to do what these ladies are doing right now, is just to help. Again, my mother and my sister is now on dialysis, so I'm here and speaking for them. Again, it affects our community, and I want to be an advocate for us. So I appreciate everyone and appreciate everybody coming out to hear these stories.
Thank you so much, Jerry. Jerry is, he's very kind. He doesn't make me beat the door down. I just say to my coworkers, call Jerry Taylor, but don't tell him I told you. Somehow, I think they tell him, and even if they didn't, he'd know. But thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much for all your hard work, and for continuing to be an advocate. Is so important. And that gives me a moment to make a shameless plug that in KFI, we are growing our volunteer program. And so we are looking for transplant ambassadors, and we're also looking for dialysis ambassadors and CKD ambassadors. So please, 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 if you are so moved by what we're doing here, we can't do it alone. We need help. We need you. So step up, talk to me. You can go on our website and sign up, but do something, take action. We can have some fun while you're on dialysis for sure, and post-transplant too. So next I want to, we're gonna have Justina share her story, and we're just excited that she's here and willing to share her story with us. And so go ahead, Justina.
I would like to say good morning, everyone. I thank you all for having me. When I got the call, I was like, me talk in front of all these people? So here I am. My story started, I would like to say, when I was in my 30s. I'm now 60 years old, but it was in my 30s, and I didn't realize that I had a problem. When I went to the doctor, they did tests and said, wow, something's going on with your kidneys, you know, through the blood work. That's how they find out. So then they diagnosed me with stage 2, you know, I'm a stage 2 chronic kidney failure. And they say, well, check with us in 6 months and we'll see how things go. So I came back in 6 months, and it started getting worse. I still was in denial because I wasn't feeling anything. I felt my same old self, you know. So I got real sick. I had some type of, I don't know what you call it, strep throat or something. And I got real sick, and I was in the hospital, and it went to stage 3 something. I don't know, they called it, I don't know what the name of it was. But anyway, it was getting worse and worse. And I would say in my 50s, I still was in denial. I just didn't want to do dialysis, so I did everything, all these health food regimens, all this stuff to, you know, to get my kidneys better. It still didn't work. And I come to find out that my grandfather had polycystic kidneys, and he passed away from that. I guess back in those days, they didn't have all this technology and stuff, and all these people that are like you all are here to help out, and you know, all this awareness. So here I am now. I have this disease, and I'm on dialysis now. It's hard, you know, but it gets better because people like you all are here, and it makes it a lot easier. The sister Kim, I just met her, and she was telling me her journey in a little short time, and she's doing so well, and she has a kidney, and I was like, oh, I want one of those too, you know. So I'm going to try to encourage myself as you all encourage me, and we're going to keep this thing going, and I want to make sure that I'm able to help another person just by some encouraging words, because we're all in this together. So let's pull together and help out one another. It's not as scary as it seems. There's hope. There is hope. And I believe this. I know our God is there for us. If we trust and believe in him, he will be there for us. So thank you all. Thank you all so much. Thank you all, Kidney organization, for being there. Thank you all the recipients for sharing your stories. Just thank you all. and I'm going to be here to help out as much as sign me up, okay? Okay. Sign me up. All right, thank you. You all have a blessed day.
Justina, thank you so much. And I just want you to know we have about 200 witnesses here. So, and it's being videotaped, so I'll talk to you, talk to you Monday. Thank you so much. And I just want to say, you know, when I just want to encourage you and everyone who's on this journey. And when I was on dialysis for 3 years, I always said, you know, my friends would look at me and they would worry and they would say, oh my God, you haven't gotten a kidney yet. And I would say, God has a kidney for me.
Yeah.
And when it comes, it'll be perfect. And I say that to all of you. Yes. God has a kidney for you. And you will get it and it will be perfect. So be encouraged. Yes. Be encouraged. So right now it's 9:38. We're going to end this session. Our panelists will be around if you have some questions for them, if you need to know more of their fantastic stories, because, you know, we have to break it down to just little bits, just give you a little bit of it, but there's lots more to talk about. Feel free to chat with them throughout the day. That's the beauty of these events. We have time to network together.